What's up, folks? Dominion Commando here. It's raining up here in East Bumblefuck nowhere, and apologies if I'm squinting and blinking a lot. My stepmother was just cutting onions. Cheers. While my eyes recover, luckily I found this video, and this will be one of the new topics right now. I did talk about it a little bit on my other TikTok, which is posted to my YouTube. But here's basically, I'm going to run it again. But this one, this particular video actually brought up a lot of things that I did not mention in the last video, so I'm going to make it up on this nice backup account. So please feel free to insert comments. If you need help, hit me up, stuff like that. And hopefully that this is educational to all the new airsoft players of this generation or people who are just getting into the sport. Number one, if you're just gonna honestly get hit and you feel it, don't wince. We can all see it. Plus, we have cameras, so you will be embarrassed to see yourself on YouTube not calling your hit. Obviously, things changed within the years or whatever, but it's still not an excuse to not call your hit. Excuse me. Airsoft is a game of honor, and it should be respected as such. Number two, not all ricochets and gun hits count. So if it hits your gun, yell gun hit. If it ricochets, depending on the field rules, it does not count. So there's no need to get all heated up about that. Ricochets are mostly just, in my opinion, kind of like a distraction, just to be like, oh crud, he's there, so I'm not going to move, or I'm going to stay, and then if he stops firing, I'm going to move. So there's some helpful tips from me so far, but continuing on with this video. On the other hand, like I said in my other video, some people don't call their hits because of whatever they're wearing. Like if I wore two hoodies, I can't feel it. If I wore my real scenario kit, I have actual plates, I'm not going to feel it. If I have stab-proof plates or any type of plate, a foam plate at all, I'm not going to feel it. But you can hear it. But in my defense, if I'm wearing my real scenario kit, which is mostly posted on this account, I'm not going to hear it. I kind of realized that while playing. I don't know why I can't hear it. Probably because I have the backpack, which carries my P-Star tank and my med kit attached to it. So, so whoever shoots me, if you see me on the field, I do apologize on here in advance because I'm not going to feel it. I mean, this little smart Asian kid that I versed went for my legs. So that was pretty smart, but he didn't have to be a jerk and fire up close. But as a 12-year veteran of the sport, I am not angry at it. I was like, yeah, it pissed me off a little bit, but I can't blame him at the same time because that's what I mostly deal with. So, yeah. Although it is again respectable, but also you got to look at it this way, newcomers. Most of us have been in the sport for too long. If you think we're not going to be able to catch you on camera, you got another thing coming. It's best for you not to get on film or somebody else's film because you're obviously going to be humiliated unless you make an airsoft account and nobody knows who you are. So there's that as well. Also, it probably would explain why years ago, back in 2014, 2015, there was that whole rumor saying that, oh, you might need a camera required to play airsoft because of cheating and all that. So, although I will refer to a story at Operation Iron Chair down at Strike Force Sports, me and my team decided to help out the cause and, did a donation thing. So we all got a shirt and all that. I still have mine. I'm probably going to frame it because, honestly, I don't want to wear it. But it is a commemorative moment, sorry. But it was one of the big events happening during Dominion's re-come back the second time. I'm the third. Granted, I've taken over the team since then, but moving on. Um, you know, it was me, my boy Wolverine, and we had all our cameras running. I had my contour at the time, and my boy had a GoPro on top of his helmet. So it took, and my selfie cam. So it took about probably like 3 cameras to catch one person. And Strike Force Sports, guys, just so everybody's aware, if you're in the Long Island area or whichever the case may be, it's one warning and you're banned for life. Now, if the rules have changed since then, I don't know, because I don't feel like going back there and causing fights and shit. Not my spiel. So neither does my team. They don't want to go down because we don't want to be caught in fights and shit. Will it happen? Probably. Should it happen? No. So we're preventing it. But honestly, rentals, or I should say, not really targeted toward the rentals, to my veteran airsofters out here, it is our job to teach the rentals how to actually do shit. Because obviously, there are a crap ton of videos on TikTok, there's a crud load of videos on YouTube. And to me, it's sad because nobody is teaching these rentals how to do things. Now, if you're like over the age of like 30 or 40, might be a little harder, not gonna lie. Um, Most of you guys are thick-headed and stubborn. Trust me, I'm Scottish and Irish. I'm just as stubborn as anybody else. So I know the feeling. But for the younger generation getting into airsoft, veterans, we should teach these younger kids how to play, not being scared, and try to get everybody to have fun. Because, like I said, honestly, it kind of ruins the sport for everybody when the rentals do not do anything. And I'm sure everybody on this app would agree with me, depending who's a veteran and who's not. And that's why some of these rentals should do the research, try to find like Instagrams, TikToks like mine, or names Nico, Kicking Mustang, Navrich. Like those guys have been legends. I'm not that much of a legend. I'm trying to get there. So, but I think I've made a decent impact in the airsoft industry and the world. Um, just me personally trying to help out any rental or new kid coming into the sport, so there are less problems in the near future for our airsoft pleasure due to the C4 whatever in Canada or whichever the case may be. I'm trying not to let that happen. But again, I hate politics, so I don't really get into it as much. But again, that was my TikTok, YouTube mission and Instagram mission during COVID. I had all my shit is just sitting there as collectibles. But after I saw like my boy named Nico coming back, well, he just started as an ex-British Army, retired or whatever. I don't know his whole story, but I know he's ex-British Army. He does airsoft, and I've talked to the guy a couple of times. Really good guy, really cool, and his tips and tricks really worked out for me as an airsofter. And I've tried to implement that UF Pro Achilles heel tactical in most of my videos because they've really taught me a lot as an airsofter, probably as a real shooter too if I ever get my real steel, which will be eventually in time, not right now currently. I do have the kit at least, so that's a bonus. But coming to the end of this 10-minute segment, I hope everybody has gotten at least an insight of what I think. And like I said, all my veterans out there, airsofters, you know how it is. Let's try to teach some of these kids, and help them out. Because the rental BS has got to stop somewhere. And it's time for most of us to take charge. But anyway, this is Dominion Commando signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully it's dry where you are, not raining like it is here. So, anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, folks.